guys? How we doing today? Happy Saturday. Hope you guys are having a wicked day. Hope you guys are having an awesome start to your weekend. Rocking out. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Rumble. Make things happen. Doing the doggone thing. And also TikTok. Not Facebook. Hope you guys are having a wicked day. Rocking out. Got our team up there. These are the 3 teams that matter. I'm in 4 different leagues, but these are the 3 teams that matter. Top one, I basically need to win in order to go to the playoffs. Bottom one, I'm in a battle for first place. And if I win by virtue of points, I would make first place. I'm pretty sure regardless. And then in the middle one, I'm in the playoffs. I don't think a win or a loss does anything to my ratings or to my rankings. So, yeah, I do like to think out loud and observe a lot of different angles. Conan, what's happening? Thoughts on Judkins? I value him really high. Not a lot of people do, but I'm pretty much value him the way that we used to value Nick Chubb, right? A perennial first round draft pick, argument for number 1 overall fantasy pick. I think he's got the talent. Cleveland's a run first organization, right? They've got a good offensive line. Their quarterback stinks, which makes me a little bit more higher on him. They're going to need to. But Nick Chubb used to have a stinky quarterback, and he was amazing, right? So that's how I value him. I'm also a Baltimore Ravens fan, right? So I get the pleasure of dealing with Cleveland twice a year, which is not very fun sometimes. But no, I'm pretty high on him. I don't really know what's going on with their quarterback situation, which kind of leads them to have to throw the ball a little bit more, or run the ball to kind of set it all up. But I think that's their identity, though. Defense and the run game is how they're going to win for the foreseeable future. And their defense is actually like phenomenal, like next level phenomenal. Myles Garrett is like the man. He's going to be first ballot Hall of Famer. I'm a Jets fan, but would like to see the Ravens doing good. Yes. Honestly, what's going on with the Jets too, man? Like, Tyrod Taylor now? You think Gadsden will do good? I mean, there's hope. I don't know if I think he will, though, just because the way that Chicago ran on Philadelphia last week has to have Jim Harbaugh just frothing at the mouth, right? So I can see him and I can see Vidal and Hampton going nuts, or at least attempting to go nuts on Philadelphia, thus rendering like the passing game in general, because Justin Herbert's got a broken hand, right? As much as it's his non-throwing hand, I can't see it feeling good to whack it off an offensive lineman's helmet or like get driven into the ground. I don't know. I don't feel like that feels good. So I think they'll try and establish the running game a little bit more than they normally would, probably. But there's also a lot of mouths to feed there. So I think you might be able to count on him for a touchdown. But as far as doing good, I just hope for a touchdown, and that'll probably be the best you can get, I think. They're also at home too, right? I'm pretty sure. So that's better, right, than being on the road. Henderson or Ladd for playoffs, PPR for my flex. For this week is your playoffs? Damn, that sucks, man. Ladd on Monday night or Henderson. Who's New England playing? No, next week playoffs start. Oh, question for next week? Man, you got me all confused. Who's New England play? New England plays Buffalo. I mean, Buffalo's run defense has been horrendous all year. Chargers go into Kansas City. I might lean towards Henderson, all things being equal. The Bills give up 5.5 yards a carry, right? I think it's 5.8 actually. And so yeah, I think I think Henderson's probably your best bet. Also, I can see New England trying to establish the run a little bit more next week. The division game, right? That's probably for the division. You got to figure. So yeah, I kind of like Ladd more than I like, or sorry, I like Henderson more than I like Ladd. That Kansas City defense is for real, right? And they're at home. Who knows what Justin Herbert's going to be like? Yeah, I mean, all things being equal, that game next week will pretty much decide the division for Buffalo and New England. So I'm excited for Buffalo Cincinnati this week. That one's got game of the year written all over it. I'm super excited for that one. Man, you got Josh Allen, MVP candidate, Joe Burrow, perennial MVP candidate. You know, playing for basically both of them need a win, right? So it's going to be, that's got game of the year written all over it. If that doesn't get you excited, oh man, I don't know what does. That's crazy. In my top league, we need a win to get into the playoffs. And if we lose, we're pretty much out. This guy went nuts on me last week or on Thursday. Got Jahmyr Gibbs and Brandon Aubrey. It pissed me off. Actually, I dropped Jake Bates because he didn't do dick all last week. What did he do? He got 18 points. Man, that sucks. I would have been so happy with 18 points. Last week he didn't do dick all because they I don't know, they went for it on so many fourth downs and what? Now that they don't make the fourth downs, they're all of a sudden passing team again? Or a kicking a field goal team again? Jesus. Baker Mayfield healthy. I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to. Nobody's really talking about the weather out there, but actually it doesn't look like it'd be too bad now. Looks like Jacksonville, Indianapolis is going to be dookie weather. There was supposed to be bad weather in Tampa as well. Looks like it's just going to be in Jacksonville. I don't know, man. I gotta look at that. I gotta know for sure on that one. Green Bay is gonna be cold. That's what it says. It says Green Bay is gonna be really cold. Backward redirection blocked. Damn, that's so rude. Buffalo. Does it say the same? Let's reload. Buffalo is supposed to be 2 centimeters of snow, they said, which isn't even anything. What are they doing Saturday tonight? Nothing. Few flurries or snow showers possible. Sunday, bloody Sunday. If you're a CMC owner, would you drop Kamara to pick up Brian Robinson Jr.? I mean, we're not owners, we're managers. There's no slavery anymore, but I understand what you're talking about. I have Brian Robinson Jr. and I am a CMC manager, so I did that on purpose. I don't know if it's all good, man. I appreciate you. I don't know if I don't even know what's going on with Kamara because even when he's healthy, like, is it, he's kind of been dookie, has he not? Right? That Tyler Shaw kid, they're having him throw like 40 times a game, which is weird, and none of them are going to Kamara. So Like I don't really know what to do with Kamara as is, but I'm a CMC manager and I have Robinson Jr. I did that on purpose. I hope I don't need him, but yeah, I would definitely that's the top of my radar. I don't know about dropping Kamara because I don't even really know what he would do for you when healthy. So maybe he is your best bet. But definitely want to get Robinson on your team because it does look like it is one of those like plug and play situations. And man, especially in playoffs, you need that. You can't have CMC going down. Not that we want to hope for injuries or wish anything on people, but you can't have CMC going down and not have his backup. Watch his backup next week. If somehow you win, watch his backup next week. Put 30 points on you. Nah, man. Nah. Hell no. Oh, I'd throw my phone. Hell no. So snow in Buffalo. Now it's 3 centimeters to 7 centimeters. That's still not even bad. Veely or Q Johnson. I mean, to me, I have kind of there's the Monday night games have an allure to me. I just tend to lean towards them, just to give myself something to watch. But now also I'm trying to figure this out too, because last I heard there's gonna be heavy weather in Florida this weekend. So that Jacksonville Indianapolis game looks like it's going to be nothing short of a nightmare. Now, Tampa Bay is also playing in Tampa Bay. Yeah, 6 millimeters of rain tonight. They're talking 25 to 50 millimeters of rain expected, heavy rainfall, high winds, gross weather in Jacksonville. And so I'm trying to figure out where Tampa Bay's at because they're just saying that it's going to be cloudy with a little bit. Like, aren't they just around the corner? So that comes into consideration for me. I'm not playing Veely if there's any sort of weather happening out there. 60% chance of rain tonight. Oh shit. Yeah. Tomorrow, okay. Thunderstorms possible. Wind at 20 degrees or 20 kilometers an hour, which isn't too bad. So it actually sounds like Tampa Bay might miss the brunt of it, which kind of puts a cloud on mine because I was actually expecting to start. I picked up Jaden Daniels playing this week against Minnesota, and I'm excited for that. But now, if Baker's in a position, 47% chance of rain, 9 miles an hour. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing too. So that actually doesn't sound too bad, like too bad. Little bit of rain here and there. 10 miles of wind isn't that much. That's nothing to really be concerned about. Maybe a little bit here and there if they have like a swirling effect in the stadium. Might be bad in like a couple parts because it's not going to blow left and right. You know what I mean? Or the way that we would want it to, obviously. Shit. I just spilled my drink all over myself. Crap. So in that instance, like if we find out that there's not too much weather happening tomorrow in Tampa Bay, I might go with Bealey over Quentin Johnson. Like there's a lot of mouths to feed, and in Los Angeles, and with a broken hand for Justin Herbert. I know it's not his throwing hand, but like especially with what Chicago did to Philadelphia last week, I can see Los Angeles wanting to establish the run a little bit more than they normally would. Excuse me, to try and take advantage of what Chicago did last week. Now, that being said, I can only imagine that Philadelphia actually worked on that a lot. So that's what I would say. I would say if we find out that there's no heavy weather in Tampa Bay tomorrow and it's actually kind of decent weather, I'd probably go with Veely. But if there's going to be thunderstorms and like high winds and shit like that, I don't want any part of that. That's why like that Jacksonville game against Indianapolis, I'm downgrading everyone. Like they just 100% chance of rain, up to 60 millimeters of rain, high winds. Like that sounds nothing short of atrocious. Justin, Brissett or Daniels. Brissett lost Dorsey. Honestly, I'm excited for Jaden Daniels coming back. It's in a dome. He's playing against Minnesota. I'm playing him this week, I think. Again, yeah, Minnesota's defense is really good, but against the dome, he's got all his dogs back, right? He's got Terry McLaurin's back. Debo's doing his thing again. Zach Ertz is killing it, right? Who really knows what's going on in the run game over there? So like, I'm excited. I think he'll have to show out a little bit more than he normally would, and I'm excited. And actually, that being said, I might play. I have Chris Rodriguez too. I think we might do that. We might put in Daniels and Chris Rodriguez and kind of just like run all over everyone. No, I'm excited. I'm excited for that game. I think it's a good coming out party for Jaden Daniels. I think he's gonna doubt a lot of the haters this week. That being said, I'm also excited for the other side of that matchup where JJ McCarthy has his maybe coming out party because I'm excited for that. I don't actually think that he's as bad a quarterback as it's been. I think he's better. Just don't understand why he just doesn't throw to Justin Jefferson more. I mean, if I had the best receiver on my team, I would be throwing to him every single play. We saw what Joe Flacco did with Jamar Chase, 23 targets, and he caught 16 of them. So if you throw the ball to Justin Jefferson 23 times, I can probably assume that he's going to catch 10, 15 maybe, right? So I would throw to him. Hell yeah, man. Must win week, and I had Gibbs on Thursday. My opponent had Monty. Oh man, dude, I'm in a must win matchup. I was playing against Gibbs and Aubrey. Pissed me off, man. So much upsetness. Damn. I'm down 55-0 right now. Like it's actually nuts. Oh, like I'm like, man, it's not a really good feeling going into the weekend. I need points at this point. And now Jaden Reed's coming back, which is going to mess with my Christian Watson stock. And like, do I just play Jaden Reed? He's the number one, right? I tend to lean towards starters as much as wide receivers are different. But if I had to pick between two of the same team, normally I'm leaning towards the starter, the guy that's going to be on the field more often in theory. If I had to choose between Watson or Sutton, who would you run with? That's what I was just saying. I tend to lean towards the starters in a particular receiving core. But that being said, Jaden Reed's coming back this week. So now there's Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs. There's somebody else, and then Matthew Golden might play. They were talking about. So then they've also got that other kid. What is it? Luke Musgrave, I think, is their tight end. So yeah, there's a lot of mouths to feed in Green Bay. So I would probably choose Sutton. Kind of hope for the best. As much as they didn't do really too much last time they played Vegas, that was kind of a dookie game, and we don't really want that to happen again. But it's also in Green Bay, and I think, see, this is where I think this is what I think right here is that I think that Watson might be getting a couple deep shots because it's in Green Bay and it's going to be really cold. It's like -8 degrees, which is like 18, I think, degrees Fahrenheit, and it's going to be snowing. Or no, I don't think it's going to be snowing, but it's going to be cold and it's going to be windy. And I don't think that they're going to want to throw as much as they needed to indoors against Detroit. So I think they're going to lean on Josh Jacobs a little bit more. And the flip side of that is I think Chicago is going to lean on their run game a little bit more too. So it's going to be like a low scoring, like garbage game. It's probably gonna suck to play in. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be kind of fun to watch, but it's probably gonna suck to watch too because like it's gonna be so cold. They can't even move, man. Yeah, I don't know. I might go with Sutton in Las Vegas. Start to Michael Carter, Vidal, Waller, Trey Tucker. I don't want any part of Trey. Hey, no problem, man. I hope that helps. Right? I hope it works out. Thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate you. Hope it works out. I definitely do. Fuck, it's Vegas, man. Like, come on, man. Like, let's get it together here. Come on. I honestly, I would start Michael Carter and Vidal. We saw what the running game did last week against Philadelphia, and so I can only imagine that Los Angeles is going to want to run the ball a lot. Plus, no Greg Dortch, no Marvin Harrison, Michael Carter all the way, baby. I'm up 33-13, starting right now. I have Daniels, Rice, PTJ, Gainwell, Goddard, Devontae Smith and Shakir. He has Caleb, Puka, DK, Barkley, Kelsey, Watson, Debo. Ayo. You should win that pretty easily. That's all right. That DK kid, man. He's really good in our league that counts return yards. The guy gets like 25 points a game because he gets like 100 return yards every game. Barkley's kind of dookie. Kelsey will probably have a good game. That's what I was just saying about Watson. Debo might have a good game, though. But you have Daniels, so that'll probably hurt him. Garrow, I need some fantasy advice. Who to start my wide receiver 2 and flex spot? I have Alex Pierce, Luther Burden, Devon Vale, Quinton Johnson. Okay, so right off the bat, there's going to be heavy weather in Jacksonville this week. They say 100% chance of rain, up to 60 millimeters they're expecting. So that's a significant amount going on for me and also high winds. So high winds and heavy rain makes me want to not play the anybody from Indianapolis or Jacksonville. Do you have return yards in your league? Nice. Damn, then DK is going to do really well, dude, because he's killer, man. Check out his return yards. And so, yeah, I don't want any part of Alec Pierce. That being said, if we find out, and then I would do Luther Burden and Devon Valley. But that being said, if we find out that the weather in Jacksonville is going to be the same that it is in Tampa Bay, they don't say it is right now, but if it's going to be the same as it is in Tampa Bay, I don't want any part of heavy winds and high rain or high winds and heavy rain for my wide receiver core. So my answer is based off of what tomorrow's weather looks like. Right now, it's Luther Burden and Devon Valley. But if Valley is playing in a rainstorm, I don't want to do that. I'll just take Quinton Johnson. That's what I was thinking with Odune. Burden might pop off. You're not wrong. And that's 100%. He's also their deep threat. It's going to be cold in Green Bay tomorrow. So the deep guys, he's good. And Christian Watson is also who I'm kind of leaning towards. So I like it. I think that's your best bet, if that makes sense. I hope that helps. I hope it works out. I really do. Dan, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Buccaneers and Broncos money line good. Who's Tampa Bay playing? New Orleans and Broncos against Vegas. I mean, it should be good. Denver's going into Las Vegas. Vegas, baby. I mean, in theory, yeah, it should be good. Why would they? Hey, no problem, man. No problem at all. I hope it works out. That's wicked. I'm not looking like a judge. I have a State of the Union message that I'm about to deliver. It's going to be the most important message that you guys have ever heard in your life, and it is critical to humanity. So I think that you're going to want to listen. Tampa Bay and Denver money line should be perfect, right? One I'm leaning towards is Cleveland money line for real. And I don't think that Tennessee has the guys to go. Woody Marks against KC or Devin Neal against Bucks. So I'll answer that the exact same way I answered your previous question. If there's no heavy rain and high winds, I'm going Devin Neal against Tampa Bay. But if there is, then I'm probably leaning towards Woody. I don't actually love that matchup against Kansas City. They're a really good defense. As much as last week was an outlier against Dallas, it's going to be outdoors Sunday night, right? Yeah, I don't love Woody Marks against Kansas City. So I answer that the same way. But I also don't want to play Devin Neal in a huge rainstorm. So if the weather's decent, take the New Orleans guys and let's do it. But if there's big rainstorm, that'll have to be a judgment call because I don't want any part of like high wind and heavy rain. You know what I mean? Like that, and that's just me though. You know what I mean? So could be different for you. Waddle or DJ Moore with Odunze out. Honestly, I read that Tua kind of sucks in the cold, so I might lean towards DJ Moore. I think that I think especially in PPR, I think DJ Moore is probably the answer. Phoenix, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Zay or Jacoby. Man, I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan. That's my dog right there you're talking about. That being said, I'm going to start Zay. In Jacksonville, they're calling for 100% chance of rain, up to 60 millimeters with high winds as well. So high winds and heavy rains, I don't want to go anywhere near Jacksonville or Indianapolis. And so for those reasons, I'm going with Zay Flowers. I hope it helps. I really do. Or I hope it works out. I really do. Like I said, Baltimore fan. Start 3, Sutton, Smitty, Flowers, Hampton. I mean, if I don't have concrete news on Hampton before Sunday, no problem, my man. I hope it works out. I really do. So if I would start Hampton in there, but if I don't have concrete news by Sunday that Hampton's going to play, I don't want to hear should be good to go, in line to play, leaning towards playing. I don't want to hear any of that. I want to hear has been activated off the IR and will play. That's what I need to know before I bench a guy on Sunday to play a guy on Monday that may not play. That's my answer to that. Find out tomorrow if he's playing. If he's playing, then we play him. And then we bench probably Flowers, right? But if we don't find out tomorrow that there's concrete evidence that he's playing, that's just me. I need to know, right? I'm not going to bench a guy on Sunday, then come Monday have nobody to play because the guy didn't get. Hey, no problem, man. I hope that helps. I hope it works out. Love or Lamar? Oh man. So last week I benched Love to play Lamar. I'm also a Baltimore Ravens fan, so like it really pains me to say that. Like I don't actually know. Like I can't advise you to play Lamar with any sort of confidence. You know what I mean? So I think we play Jordan Love. That being said, Baltimore needs to win, and they play Pittsburgh well, and eventually they've got to get something going. And it's going to be really cold in Green Bay, so I think they lean towards the run a little bit more. But I'm totally on board with starting Love over Lamar, especially if you need the win. Like, I don't know how we can start him with any sort of confidence. And that, trust me, that pains me to say. I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan, man. Like, I honestly don't even know what the problem is. It's like, I don't. For starters, they're not running Derrick Henry 30 times a game, and that's what they should be doing. Enough of this fit farting around. Take the best running back in probably the history of the game and just plow them down the throats of all the defenders. Like, what is happening? Should I start T-Law or Mahomes? So, in regards to Trevor Lawrence or Mahomes, there's going to be a huge rainstorm in Jacksonville tomorrow. They are calling for 100% chance of rain and heavy winds, up to 60 millimeters of rain happening. So I don't advise starting Trevor Lawrence in those types of conditions. That being said, you're not wrong. Houston's defense, no joke. So if I had to choose, I'd probably try and get another option. But I don't really want to play either of those, if I'm being honest. And I hope that helps. I don't really know. I wish I had an answer, but I don't want to go against Mother Nature or Houston's defense. Let's go, Joe Burrow, baby. Come on, in Buffalo. Come on, baby. That's supposed to be the game. That's good. That's got game of the year written all over it. I'm so excited for that game, man. Two perennial MVP candidates in games that both teams need to win. Cincinnati's still in line to win the division, like for real. And I'm pretty sure they beat Pittsburgh and Baltimore. So like they've got the tiebreaker. Man, I'm excited for that game. If you don't get excited for that game, you don't really like football. That's all I can say. That game is going to be wicked. I'm looking forward to starting everyone. Lamar over Knicks. I don't know, man. I mean, I can't with any sort of confidence tell you to play Lamar. That being said, that Las Vegas defense tends to play Denver really well. Divisional matchup, you know what I mean? I think eventually Baltimore figures it out. I don't think they're as bad as they've been. They're it's such a piss off being a Baltimore Ravens fan. Like I wish that I had an answer for you. So on the surface, yes, we play Lamar over Knicks, but I can't with any sort of confidence tell you to play Lamar or Knicks, to be honest, because Knicks looked like Dookie last time they played Las Vegas. Worthy, Washington, or Cole? Coleman? Who's Coleman in Buffalo? Oh, I just finished talking about that. We're playing Coleman. Game of the year, baby. Let's do it. Hope for the best. I can 300 yards and 4 touchdowns from Josh Allen. 425 yards and 5 touchdowns from Joe Burrow. That's what I'm expecting, really. So let's hope that Keon Coleman and Khalil Shakir and Dalton Kincaid eat. That's what we want. Genty, Harvey, or Neal, must-win game. So in a must-win game, I don't know how we can play Genty with any sort of confidence against that Denver defense. Maybe in PPR, I could get behind it. That's probably your answer because he does get a lot of catches. Denver looked dookie against Las Vegas last week. Devin Neal with no Kamara is probably the answer, though. I think it is. But I feel like Genty was drafted as your dog, right? As your guy. So I feel like at the end of the day, we let our dogs be dogs, and we go out there and we hope that Genty at least saves his day. If you're in PPR, if you're not in PPR, I'd probably go Devin Neal. There's no real competition behind him, and they're playing a middle of the road Tampa Bay defense. They used to be really good against the run, but not so much anymore, right? Mechie or Jaden Higgins. Who's that? The Jets or Houston? You know what? I don't really want any part of that Kansas City defense. I think they're a legit defense. So I might go Mechie. Against Miami, their defense isn't the best. And they're at home. And Tyrod Taylor he doesn't really have anybody to throw to. There's him. There's the other guy they got in the Sauce Gardner trade. They have that Taylor kid and the tight end, and then Breece Hall in running back, right? So they don't. It's not like they're overflowing with wide receiver with pass catching talent. Ziggy, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. State of the Union address. You're gonna want to stick around and hear this. This is life changing stuff right here. So yeah, I think we go with Mechie. We kind of hope for the best. I don't really want any part of that Kansas City defense. As much as Sunday night games do have an allure to me, right? I like the Sunday night game, something to watch later in the night. You know what I mean? That's really the way that I think of it. But if I can afford to not play guys that I like, if I can afford to choose my matchups, I'd probably choose the Miami matchup at home. I read that as Lawrence Taylor. Lawrence Taylor is amazing, but I don't think he plays quarterback anymore. No problem, my man. I hope that helps. I hope it works out. I really do. Damn, scraping the bottom of the barrel right there. Mechie or Higgins, though, for real. Lawrence Taylor in at quarterback as much as he could, and he'd be the best at it for sure. I wouldn't want to tackle him, even as a defender. I would play Lawrence Taylor as quarterback. Bates got me 16. Thanks, kicker. Man, I'm playing against Brandon Aubrey. Upset at that. Actually, to be fair, I dropped Bates right before the game. He got like 2 points last week, man. And I thought they didn't go for it, or they didn't kick field goals anymore. But all things being equal, I don't really want to play Trevor Lawrence this weekend. There's 100% chance of rain, and they're calling for up to 60 millimeters, high winds, heavy rain. I don't really want to start a quarterback in that weather. I might go Tyrod Taylor this week. Hope for the best at home, right? Against Miami, they're not the best defense, so Jaden Daniels or Caleb Williams. Let's go Jaden Daniels. Coming out party. Guess who's back again. Jaden's back. Tell a friend. Yes, Nimble Nick, what's happening? Thank you for the friendship necklace. I appreciate you. But yeah, Jaden Daniels, man, they're playing against Minnesota. It's in a dome. He's got all his dogs back, right? He's got Terry McLaurin. He's got Deebo Samuel. Zach Ertz is doing well. They don't really have too much of a run game, right? So he might have to do a little bit more. But I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I have Daniels in one league. I have him in 2 leagues, and I think I'm going to play him in 1 league. Not so sure about the other league, but. Sutton or Ladd. All things being equal, I might. Bro, Cleveland's projected for 16. I have no idea. Playing Las Vegas, I guess. They're expecting a touchdown or 2 and no points given up. But yeah, Cleveland's projected for 16. I can't believe it. So I would flex Sutton against Las Vegas and kind of hope for the best. There's a lot of mouths to feed in Los Angeles. And what's his face? Herbert has a broken hand. As much as it's his not his throwing hand, I can't imagine that feels good if he gets it smashed against a helmet or driven into the ground. And then especially with what Chicago did to Philadelphia with the run game last week, I can only imagine that Jim Harbaugh is just frothing at the mouth right now, thinking about what their run game can do. So Aaron Jones, Woody Marks, Christian Watson at the flex. I go Aaron Jones. He's a starter. I don't want any part of that Kansas City defense. And Christian Watson might get you more points. But I would lead to Aaron Jones. Still the starting running back. Hampton or Warren or Terry at the flex. So I feel like Hampton might be the answer. But until I hear concrete evidence on Sunday that Hampton's going to be activated off IR and going to play, I don't want to hear any in line to play, projected to play, feels good about playing, should play. I don't want to hear none of that. I want to hear activated off IR and will play. That's what I need to know. I need to know he's activated off IR before I sit a guy on Sunday to play the guy on Monday, and then he doesn't even get activated, and then what, right? So I think Terry's your option unless you hear concrete evidence that Omarion Hampton is coming back, and then I would play him. And that is even like you're expecting him to play on a Monday. Like I might just take the points on a Sunday, but that's me, right? I don't know. That's up to you, but that's my thinking behind that. I hope that helps. I hope it works out. Deebo or Jefferson? Oh, come on, man. No way. We're benching Justin Jefferson. I'm not going to be here advising you to bench your first round draft pick. I'm sorry. The best receiver in the game, regardless of quarterback situation. We all saw last week coming against Seattle. If you have somebody else to bench for Deebo, that's cool. I would do that. But I'm not advising you to sit Justin Jefferson. Hell no. If anything, I'm super excited about playing him. Yes, I'm biased because I have him in a must-win game this week. So, yeah, there's a little bit of bias right here. Nick, I appreciate the follow. You're wicked. But that being said, I drafted him thinking that he was quarterback proof. Drafted him in 2 different leagues. And yeah, I'm holding on by a thread right now in both leagues, but still, I'm not going to bench him. I saw last week coming and still played him. Yeah, we lost, but I'm not going to sit him and then have him have a Justin Jefferson game on my bench. Like, come on, man. Nah, that's not going to be the advice that I give you. Lamar or Jane Daniels. Lamar's my dog. You know that. Zay Flowers is my dog. You know that. I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan through and through. But I can't, with any sort of confidence, tell you to start Lamar or Zay over anyone. That being said, Metcalf, I like him. I just don't like Aaron Rodgers. Like, Aaron Rodgers stinks to me. I don't think he's like a good quarterback anymore. He's just kind of like an old Madonna, right? Like prima donna. He's just he's bothersome to watch out there too. So that being said, I can't with any sort of confidence advise you to start any Baltimore Ravens. And like to a certain extent, that includes Derrick Henry, as much as like this is the best running back like in the league. What, top 3 at most? You know what I mean? And also, I'm actually really excited for Jaden Daniels this week, right? He's in Minnesota. Yeah, they've got a good defense, but it's indoors, right? It's in a dome, so they're not going to be. There's going to be no elements to it. He's also got all his dogs back, right? He's got Terry McLaurin, Debo, Zach Ertz. Not really much of a run game, so he kind of might need to do a little bit more. So I'm kind of excited for Jaden Daniels. I'm going to be starting him in my league where I need a win. Michael Wilson or T. Higgins. Oh, Nick, I know what we want to do with Michael Wilson, but I think T. Higgins is the answer. I think that game in Buffalo has game of the year written all over it, man. Joe Burrow, Josh Allen. Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of snow, but it's not going to be too much. The only thing you might have to worry about is their stadium kind of creates like a wind, like a swirling wind, right? It's not like a north-south wind. It's more of like a swirl. So that's the only thing. But I think Joe Burrow and Josh Allen are going to show out, and I'm super excited to start all of everybody in that game. So, Metcalf or Wandale. I mean, Pittsburgh's schedule isn't the worst. In PPR, though, I might go Wandale just because he's like a PPR cheat code like Christian McCaffrey. So in PPR, I might go Wandale rest of the season. As much as Metcalf, I don't hate his schedule, right? So like if you have any sort of faith in Aaron Rodgers, I'd probably go DK Metcalf. Me personally, I don't have any faith in him. So you know what I mean? I probably do something else. Franklin or non-PPR, then you know what? We might just go DK because he's more likely to score long touchdowns than Wandale is. Wandale's more of that, 7, 8, 9 catch for 50-yard type of guy. So I don't think that I think in non-PPR we go DK. I'm in non-PPR too, man. Tell your commissioner to make PPR. Like, what the hell? Sucks. Jacksonville is supposed to have really bad weather this weekend. 100% chance of rain. High winds, 60%, 60 millimeters of rain they're calling for. So I don't want to start any Jacksonville or Indianapolis wide receivers. So I go Troy Franklin. Unless you have another option, right? McLaurin or Christian Watson. Why not go McLaurin? He's your dog, is he not? He was drafted as one of your dogs. You saw what he did last week. No need to have all caps. Settle down, sissy. I'll get to you. Start Genti or Menengai. Honestly, I don't love that Denver matchup for Las Vegas. However, it is in Las Vegas, so that's different, right? That does have some play. Maybe you know what? In full PPR, I'd probably start Genti over Menengai, but it's going to be really cold in Green Bay, and so I think that I think that Chicago is going to try and establish the run a little bit more than usual, especially after what they were able to accomplish against Philadelphia last week. And it's going to be stupid cold. It's going to be like -8 degrees, which is like 18, 19 degrees Fahrenheit. It's going to be really cold. And that's where the run game kind of thrives. So full PPR, I might go Genty, but I think Menengai has a better chance to do better. Better. I'm going to say that a better chance to do better than Genty. I hope that helps, right? I know that was a lot, but I hope it works out either way. My options are DK, Wandale, or Flowers. I was thinking of picking up Adonai Mitchell. You know what, Adonai Mitchell? Hey, no problem, man. No problem at all. I appreciate you. Thank you for the question. I appreciate it. I really do. DK, Wandale, or Flowers. Right? I was thinking of picking up Adonai Mitchell. Does he have a good schedule? Does the Jets have a good schedule? I know they have a good like running back schedule. I'm excited for Breece Hall for the rest of the season. DJ Moore or Michael Pittman. I would go DJ Moore. There's supposed to be heavy weather in Jacksonville, heavy rain, high winds. So I don't want any part of Indianapolis or Jacksonville for that matter. Jacksonville, New Orleans, New England. It's not terrible. You know what though? In non PPR, I might consider dropping Wandale for Adonai, just because, like I said, Wandale's really a PPR cheat code, but in non PPR, he's kind of not that good. Like not that good. You know what I mean? As much as he's not bad, don't get me wrong, he's not bad, but he's not like that good. I hope that helps, right? Kincaid, Waller, or Gadsden. Oh, my man, Billy. I love it. Let's go Kincaid. We got to do that, man. This Buffalo-Cincinnati game has game of the year written all over it. Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. Come on, man. No problem at all, man. That's awesome. I appreciate you saying that. I hope it helps. I really do. I hope it works out. Like, I mean, all things considered, I hope it works out, right? I'm not doing this to try and screw you guys over. I'm just saying what I think. Sometimes it helps. No problem, man. Game of the year, man. How can you not be excited of that? I'm expecting at least a touchdown, maybe two. Not that I don't like the other two. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just excited to play everybody in that game. Pick 3: Igbuka, Jefferson, Wilson, AJ, Brown. So obviously we're starting. Wait, is that T. Higgins? Jefferson, T. Higgins, AJ Brown. There's your 3, man. T. Higgins, that's part of the game of the year. Hell yeah. Damn, there's your 3 right there. Jefferson, Higgins, AJ Brown. How can you sit those 3 though? Like, I mean, I know Igbuka and Wilson have been good at times, but man, that's your dogs. You can't sit your dogs right in the last game before playoffs. Come on, man. Trade Hampton and Sutton for A-Chain. Damn, that's a late trade deadline. That's crazy. I mean, yeah. A-Chain's wicked. Probably gives you some roster clarity. Trading away a wide receiver and a running back for a running back. That tells me you probably have too many receivers. I do that all the time. Roster clarity. Oh my God, I preach that all the time. I love that. Like I had 5 legit receivers in my one league, and I traded 2 of them, like 2 for 1. Ended up getting AJ Brown, which at the time I thought was a terrible trade, but you know, now we can clearly tell that was an awesome trade, and it did. I gave up Michael Pittman and Chris Olave. So at the time, it kind of looked like a dookie trade. Since then, though, we can clearly tell that it was actually a wicked trade, and I did really well in that. Thoughts on Adonai Mitchell? Possibly a lobster, eh? Possibly a lobster. Keep seeing his name pop up, just don't see it. You know what? Hey, thank you for the live. I appreciate you, or the like. You're wicked. You know what? Then you and me are probably thinking along the same lines. I keep seeing his name pop up all over the place. He was in the Sauce Gardner trade, So like if I'm just gonna think out loud for a little bit here, he was in the Sauce Gardner trade. So obviously the Jets, somebody in their organization saw something in him. He was buried on the depth chart in Indianapolis. And Alec Pierce and Michael Pittman are really good. Also, they have that Tyler Warren kid who's going to be good. And then it's all really run through Jonathan Taylor. Um, in New York, there's not too much going on, right? So they have room, and especially if Garrett Wilson comes back, I think he has the chance to be a really good number two. Um, their quarterback situation isn't the best. Their rest of season schedule isn't the best. But, that's why we call it silly season, right? Sometimes silly things happen, like somebody named Adonai Mitchell, who nobody had any thoughts of, becomes something that is, right? So, I mean, at the end of the day, every team needs somebody that can catch the ball, and like they need to throw to somebody, right? So in the right matchup, I can see us picking up and playing Adonai Mitchell. In the playoffs going forward, I don't foresee a realistic possibility for us to play Adonai Mitchell. That being said, you might want to consider picking him up just in case something happens. Not like we're going to play him, but we don't want our opponents to pick him up and then all of a sudden him have some random wicked game against us and knock us out of the playoffs. That would suck, right? So I'm with you. I don't see it either. But if you had the roster spot with playoffs coming up, I might consider picking him up just in case, right? Because what if he does good and he's on another team that happens to play you, right? So, hey, no problem at all, man. I hope that helps, right? Just a little bit of thinking out loud right there. Have him and just benching. And you know what? That's probably the way to go. I don't think we can play him with any sort of confidence. I might play him this week, right? Against Miami. They're not the best defense, and they are at home, right? If you needed to. Bye weeks are a thing right now. I don't know why bye weeks are happening, but I hope it works out. I really do. Bob Rob, what to do with Mark Andrews? Baltimore Ravens fan, so that's my dog. I am going to be biased right here. He is the best player in the world. No, I'm kidding. Actually, I don't hate him, right? There's a lot of hate going around for him, but I mean, I don't really have an answer for you. If you're asking what I would do with him, I'm not doing anything with him. I'm going to play him and hope for the best because I believe that eventually Baltimore is going to get it going. They're not a bad team, right? They're not. Lamar is a good quarterback, and Mark Andrews is his dog, right? And so, if you have another option, we probably bench him until further notice. But I'm playing him with confidence. Tight end is just a wasteland, anyways, right? So unless you have a legit option, I'd probably just play him and hope for the best. You know he's going to be a red zone target at the very least. They make him their tush push guy, right? So he has a chance for some rushing upside. Could be a thing. I don't know. All I can say is I hope it works out because I've got Mark Andrews in two different leagues. So anytime he wants to pick up the pace, that would be just phenomenal over here. Mike Wilson or T. Let's go T Higgins. Come on, man. That's our dog right there. And they're playing in Buffalo. This has got game of the year written all over it. Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, MVP candidates. Both teams need a win. Like Cincinnati, they're still in line to win the division. I think they beat both Pittsburgh and Baltimore. So like they're right there. And Baltimore and Pittsburgh play each other. So like if Cincinnati wins, they're tied for second in the division, one game back. I think they might be 2 games back because I think they're 2 games back right now. But 2 games back of the leader, which they own the tiebreak for. So you know what I mean? That being said, right there, we're going Kincaid, man. Oh my God, it's the Jurassic Park theme. Do you hear that? It's the Jurassic Park theme. That's wicked. Yeah, we're going Dalton Kincaid, man. We're playing everybody in that Buffalo game. Buffalo, Cincinnati in Highmark Stadium. Oh my God. The only thing we really have to worry about in that stadium is the wind kind of makes like a swirling effect. It's not like a regular windy day. It's a really weird wind that kind of kicks up there. But man, you got Josh Allen and Joe Burrow going there. Oh, and he's got Jamar Chase, T. Higgins back, Chase Brown's there. Josh Allen's got Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman, Devin Kincaid, or Dalton Kincaid. It's going to be a bunch of randoms that get touchdowns. We already know that. But man, oh man, if you're not, how can you not be excited for that game? You play everybody. Shouldn't even be a question. Thoughts on Luther Burden? I think the talent's there. I think the opportunity is there. He's got. Do you hear it? It's the thing, Jurassic Park theme. Noah Dunze, I think he's got real opportunity this week. But they like him, right? I think he's kind of he's your prototypical boomer bust, right? Because he's their deep threat guy. Seriously thinking of starting him, especially with the injuries. You know what? I could get behind that because it's going to be a really cold game in Green Bay. It's supposed to be like -8, right? So that's going to be really cold out there. And the deep guys tend to do better in those games than the underneath guys that are catching balls all game. They kind of don't tend to do the best. But the deep guys, I can actually see. I mean, Luther Burden, Christian Watson, anytime touchdown has real juice in it right now because I can see them, right? Especially like you said, injuries are kind of taking a toll on everybody right now. So, yeah, I can totally get behind that. And Noah Dunze, right? I'm a little bit more excited for him than I was yesterday. Yeah, you know what I mean? But also the talent's there too, right? So he's got the talent. We already know that Caleb likes him, right? And they've got that good rapport, and they're gonna need to take a deep shot just to keep the defense honest every once in a while. So I'm with you, man. I like Luther Burden, especially this week. And who knows, right? Maybe he carves out a role for himself. If he goes nuts this week, there's no way they just bench him next week. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I think I think if there's ever a week to play him, right? Hey, man, hopefully he does get good plays. I hope that helps, right? Like, I hope it works out. I just kind of word vomit all over the place, but you know, some of it makes sense. I hope it works out. I really do. Omarion, Hampton, CJ Stroud, and Sutton for Jaden Daniels and Chris Rodriguez. Yeah, I mean, why not? No problem at all, man. I hope it works out. Good luck this weekend. Let's go get them. Let's get that W, get in the playoffs, make some noise, win some money. Let's do it. I got 2 leagues I'm in the playoffs. One I need to win this week. That's the top league. Yeesh, we're down 55-0 though. He had Jahmyr Gibbs and Brandon Aubrey going on Thursday. Son of a nutsack. Michael Wilson or Luther Burden. If we're in full PPR, I would go Michael Wilson because there's no Greg Dortch and there's no Marvin Harrison. So I think Michael Wilson and Trey McBride are going to just get peppered with targets. So in PPR, I would definitely go Michael Wilson. But in non-PPR, I was just talking about it with possibly a lobster. We like Luther Burden as the deep threat guy, right? So he has the possibility for real to to go for a long touchdown or two. So in non PPR, I'd probably go Luther Burden, but if you're in PPR, I might go Michael Wilson, if that makes sense. I hope that helps. I hope it works out either way. For real. Number one Jags fan, the number one Jags fan. Hey, wow. That's, man, I feel like royalty. Like for real, for real. That's amazing. I got the number one Jets fan on my stream right now, or Jags fan. Blake Bortles to the moon. Booyah. Yeah, we've got Washington's defense this week playing against Minnesota. Part of me wants to pick up Minnesota's defense, but I don't want to do that against Jaden Daniels. Ah, should we pick up LA's defense against Arizona? Arizona's got no Greg Dortch, no Marvin Harrison Jr. Their running game is kind of a nightmare. LA's defense might be a pickup, but I got Washington playing Minnesota, but it is in Minnesota. Need a good flex option. Drake London was confirmed out. Can we get? I don't even know if we want him. If we can get Darnell Mooney, that might be a good flex option. If we get confirmation that tomorrow in Tampa Bay there's not that bad weather, I would consider Devon Veely from New Orleans. My only worry is that there's heavy weather in Jacksonville. So I don't know if Tampa Bay is going to get the brunt of any of that. But Devon Veely would be one of the guys that I would target. We could maybe do Blake Corum if you needed it. They're playing Arizona, and they like him as like their goal line back, right? So that's something you could do. Just trying to look here. Players that I'd be able to get. Somebody dropped Keon Coleman from Buffalo in my league here. Actually, I might pick him up. He's available everywhere, right? Keon Coleman might be my pickup. Because I'm excited for that Buffalo game, right? I mean, I might, if you're in desperate need, I would consider Andre Yoshavash from Cincinnati. I don't I think that's going to be the game of the year this year. I think them playing against Buffalo, both teams need a win. Perennial MVP candidates at quarterback, right? If there's ever a time where I needed to take a shot in the dark, I'd probably do that. Looks like there's not a lot going on. I don't want to do any part of either of Jacksonville or Indianapolis in Jacksonville. Actually, Dawson Knox is available. I might play him. I want all of the Buffalo and Cincinnati guys in my lineup. Kincaid might not play. Is it gonna play? Officially questionable, eh? He needs to look functional. It's hard to know what that means, given Kincaid's limited practice status over the last 2 weeks. But it sounds like the third-year tight end will be truly questionable against the Bengals. If he's not ruled out Sunday, fantasy managers won't check in when the inactives are released 98 minutes before. At least they play at 1 o'clock. So Shakir, Swift, Watson, Burrow, or JD5. So I've been talking a lot about that Cincinnati Buffalo game. I'm excited for that game. That to me has game of the year written all over it. So I want all of those Cincinnati and Buffalo players. I'm taking Shakir, and for that reason I'm doing Joe Burrow. And then my second option would be Swift. It's supposed to be really cold in Green Bay. I think they do the same thing that they did last week in terms of trying to establish the run really, really hard. And so I think I think Swift is the better option. That being said, I do feel like Watson has the opportunity to have a couple of long touchdowns because it is going to be cold, but they are going to have to throw it deep every once in a while just to keep the defense honest. So I think Watson could be a good option, but I think Swift is probably the better option in that one. Lamar or JD5. Oh man, I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan, dude. That's my dog. Um, but that being said, I can't with any sort of confidence tell you to play Lamar right now. And also, I like JD in this game. Um, yeah, he's playing against a very good Minnesota defense, but it's indoors. He's got all his dogs back too. He's got Terry back. Debo's there, doing well. Zach Ertz is doing really well. They don't really have too much of a run game, so he might have to be asked to do more. And like, it really pains me to have to tell you to sit Lamar Jackson, but I can't with any kind of confidence tell you to play him. Would you put Watson over Egbuka? Honestly, I would. Right? I don't know how we start Egbuka with any sort of confidence. Right? Especially against New Orleans. Last time they won with the run game. Right? They didn't really need to do too much in the passing game. So yeah, I would probably start Watson over Egbuka and kind of hope for the best. As much as a few weeks ago we didn't think that would be even Tyrod or Stanford. I assume you mean Stafford. And I am definitely not gonna sit here. Yeah, no, I hope that helps, right? Like, obviously, I'm not trying to tell you, like, this is not a question of who's better or who's worse, because obviously Egbuka is way better than Christian Watson, and in theory, we play Egbuka over Watson, but he's just been dookie the last few weeks. That being said, we're going to bench him, and he's going to score 3 touchdowns and 287 yards, and be the only guy 3 passing touchdowns as well, too, right? And so, but that's the thing. I can't, like, you're asking me who over who, and I can't with any sort of confidence tell you to play Egbuka as much as he's definitely the better of the two. I also think that in a cold Green Bay game, I think Watson has a chance for a couple deep touchdowns. So I'm kind of excited to play Watson in that aspect. I am not at all going to advise you to bench Matt Stafford for Tyrod Taylor. That's just not going to be what you're getting out of me. Sorry about it. So I'm telling you, Matt Stafford. If you want to hear something else, go try somewhere else, and hopefully they give you the answer that you're looking for. But I'm not gonna. That's not gonna be me. Tyrod Taylor over Matt Stafford. Come on, man, for real. Mitchell Mechie or Egbuka as my fletch options. So that's why I just finished saying I can't with any kind of confidence tell you to play Egbuka. So for those reasons, I might consider Mechie actually. Actually, are you talking Adonai Mitchell? Who's Mitchell? Like, because if you're talking to New York Jets players, I mean, Adonai Mitchell's the number 1 guy on the team, so I would tell you to play the number 1 guy. I'm not going to tell you to play the backup. But I can't with any sort of confidence tell you to play Egbuka. Jane Daniels or Bo Nix, if you need a boom this week. Well, last time you played Bo Nix against Las Vegas, did he give you a boom? So if you think you're getting a boom this week, I don't know. Hey, no problem at all, man. Hey, anytime. Hell yeah. Appreciate the questions, man. You're awesome. So I would start Jaden Daniels, man. He's got all his dogs back. Baker or Burrow, come on, man. That's Burrow all day. We know that. We all know that. You know that. I don't even know why you're asking that question. Detroit, Cincinnati, and Buffalo. That's got game of the year written all over it. I don't know how you're not excited to start both quarterbacks in that game. You're going to bench Joe Burrow against Buffalo in the game of the year? Isn't that why you have Joe Burrow? Damn, come on, man. Start two. Well, I don't know how you start Egbuka with any sort of confidence. So I don't even really understand the question. I mean, if you think that Egbuka is going to do any better than he's been doing for the last month, then you start him. But I don't know how you start him with any sort of confidence. And I'm not going to be here advising you to, because I can't tell you to start him with any sort of confidence. Alrighty, guys. Who do I start? Lamar, Brissett, or Lawrence? So I wouldn't start Lawrence. There's a 100% chance of rain in Jacksonville with up to 60 millimeters and heavy winds. So I don't want to start Trevor Lawrence in that. I think you have to go with Lamar of those three options. I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan, so I am biased. So I will say Lamar more often than not. As much as I can't tell you to start him with any sort of confidence, but Jacoby Brissett has no Greg Dortch and no Marvin Harrison Jr. So by process of elimination, we're going to start Lamar and hope for the best. John, thank you for the follow. Come on, man. T. Higgins in a potential game of the year. You're going to sit him? No way, man. Not a chance. Playing in Buffalo. Cincinnati still got a chance to win the division. They both need a win. Both teams need a win. 2 MVP candidates at quarterback. Come on, man. We're not sitting T. Higgins. No way, dude. No way. That's got game of the year written all over it. I want all of the Cincinnati and Buffalo players. Like, to a certain extent, I'm also advising Andre Yoshevach in a pinch from Cleveland. I would go with Dawson Knox, backup tight end from Buffalo, in a pinch, because Cincinnati's defense is the worst against tight ends, as much as Mark Andrews didn't do dick all last week. But, man, hell yeah. I'm excited, if you couldn't tell. Start Egbuka or Terry or Watson. So I don't know how we can start Egbuka with any sort of confidence, and I'm not going to be the one to tell you that. Hey, Gravedigger, Twitch TV, love it. I'm actually live on Twitch right now too. Love it. That's wicked. Yeah, I don't know how we can start Egbuka with any sort of confidence. And you know what? With Jaden Daniels back this week, I don't know how we don't start Terry. I don't know how we're not excited about that. Yeah, Kent, Minnesota, who they're good. But it is indoors. JD's back. DK over Jettas. Come on, Tony. You ain't gonna get approval from me for that. Not a chance. Nope. I don't advise playing DK because I don't like Aaron Jones or Aaron Rodgers. I think he stinks. But I'm not gonna advise you bench your number one draft pick and one of the best receivers in the league. I'm not gonna tell you to have that. Bench the best receiver in the league and then have him have a Justin Jefferson game on my bench. Not a chance. There's no way I'm doing that. Hampton, Pierce, Mooney, or Neal. So there's a few parts to that. Omari on Hampton, we don't know if he's actually going to be activated. So me personally, I'm not waiting unless I get concrete evidence that he's going to be back and playing on Monday. I'm not going to bench a Sunday guy in hopes that an injured guy plays on Monday. That's not me. In Jacksonville, Alec Pierce on Indianapolis, they're supposed to get a huge rainstorm. It's going to be 100% chance of rain, up to 60 millimeters of rain, heavy winds. So I don't want any of that. I would probably go Devin Neal. As much as Mooney doesn't have Drake London, they're still playing Seattle's defense, who's a really good defense. So I think by process of elimination, we are going Devin Neal against Tampa Bay. I hope that helps. I hope it works out. Drop Quentin for O'Donnell. Vikings or Chiefs? I mean, I don't really know what Quentin's done recently to deserve being on your team. So I might I could get behind dropping him for O'Donnell. I don't really see a scenario for me, at least, to where I'm gonna play, a New York Jets receiver in the playoffs. That's just me. So um but yeah, as far as defenses, I would go Chiefs. Chiefs at home. CJ Stroud sounds like he's going to be back, which is terrible news for the whole Houston offense, but excellent news for the Chiefs defense. So I would go the Chiefs. Do you like Strange to start for Kittle bye week? So under normal circumstances, I would say that's a great start for Kittle on his bye week. This week, however, there's supposed to be a massive rainstorm in Jacksonville. 100% chance of rain and it's actually raining there right now, according to the Weather Network. So up to 60 millimeters of rain and heavy winds. So I would look elsewhere. As much as the tight end, in theory, is closest to the quarterback, may not be affected that much. I don't want to trust any pass catchers in a big rainstorm. That's just me. I don't know. So being JJ or Swift, is that JJ as in Justin Jefferson? I am not one to be here to advise you to sit your first round draft pick and one of the best receivers in the league. That's not going to be me. If you have somebody else to bench, that's cool. We can play DeAndre Swift, but I'm not going to tell you to bench Justin Jefferson and then him have a Justin Jefferson game on the bench. We all saw last week coming, whatever. That's last week. We move on. They played on the road against one of the best defenses in the league with a rookie quarterback. Move on. It's all good. We play our dogs, especially the week before playoffs or the week of playoffs. I don't know. That's my thoughts on it. Start AJ Brown and Terry or sit one for Christian you know what? I would start both of them. Start AJ Brown and Terry. That's what I just finished saying. Those are your dogs, right? We play our dogs, especially with Jaden Daniels back. I'm super excited for Terry McLaurin. I'm actually super excited for Jaden Daniels. As much as they're playing in Minnesota, right? It's a tough defense, but it is indoors, right? So Goddard or Andrews. I mean, on the surface, you say Goddard, but since the receivers have been whining in Philadelphia, Goddard has kind of taken a back seat. So I don't really know how we can start either of them with any sort of confidence. That being said, I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan, so Mark Andrews is my dog. And if it was up to me, I'm starting Mark Andrews just because that's my dog, right? I no other reason. Trust me when I tell you he hasn't given me any reason to keep playing him other than, like, if he wasn't on the Baltimore Ravens, I wouldn't even play him. But that being said, it's not like Goddard has been killing it. Earlier in the year, he was doing awesome. He seemed like their running back, Kyle, almost, right? So, yeah, I don't know, man. I really don't know. Which two do I start? Bijan, Jacob, Saquon, Bucky. I mean, honestly, I don't know how you start Saquon with any sort of confidence. Like, I really don't, and I don't know. I can't advise you to. I don't have any sort of confidence in that. I might start Bijan and Josh Jacobs, but that's crazy. First of all, that's crazy that you were able to get the top 4 running backs in the league. Maybe not the top 4, but 4 of the top running backs. Those are all first round draft picks. Like, how the hell did you end up with all 4 of them on your team? And why didn't we trade Saquon, for example, earlier in the year when he had a little bit of value for a wide receiver like Jamar Chase, or 2-man league? Yeah, no kidding. Or like JSN. My team is legend. No, your team is definitely legendary. I just don't understand it. That's all. Start Bijan, ETN, Swift, and Henry. So my only thing behind this is that in Jacksonville there's up to 60 millimeters of rain. They're expecting heavy winds, high winds, heavy rain all game. It's actually raining there right now, according to the Weather Network. So I don't really want any part of that. So for that reason, ETN for me becomes an easy bench. And I roll with Bijan, Swift, and Henry. As much as ETN is good, like, and he's been really good for us, I'm not denying that. I'm just saying I kind of tend to lean against Mother Nature. I don't want to mess with Mother Nature. She tends to win all the time. Alrighty, guys, I got to get out of here. Thank you so much for joining me. You guys are wicked, man. This is awesome. I love the questions that you have. I love the back and forth. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedules to join me. You guys are wicked. Thank you for the questions. Go ahead and hit that follow button. Subscribe if you haven't. Share this with your friends or anyone you think might find this type of stuff valuable. Maybe when am I going to be live again? You know what? I'm going to go live. I go live almost daily. Actually, I go live daily. So I'll be live tomorrow morning before the 1 o'clock game. Hopefully we'll get an update on the weather and we can really do that. Dan, thank you for the follow, man. I appreciate you. Judkins or Michael Wilson? I would do Judkins. I value him really high. The way that we used to value Nick Chubb, perennial first round draft pick, argument for number 1 overall fantasy pick, playing against a weak Tennessee defense with no real quarterback to speak of. I'm excited to start Quinshon Judkins this week. Alrighty, guys. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day and an even better weekend. Good luck with your matchups, and I look very forward to seeing you again. I love you guys. Bye for now.